Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Historic Holman Stadium. We are FCBL playoff baseball bound here. Game number 2 between the New Britain Bees and the home team, the Nashua Silver Knights. Of course, the Silver Knights last night winning behind the pitching of Aben Cabral, 11-3, and a 78-pitch gem. 58 of those were for strikes, 12 strikeouts on the evening, supported by Jake Mcdermott, who was 3 for 6 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. An outstanding performance. Nashua finds themselves one game away from a championship series appearance. They lead the FCBL with 5 titles up to this point. Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Roby. I am joined by Tom King. The man on the moving pictures is Tim O'Neill. Our executive producer is Pete Johnson. And Tom, a great effort last night by these Silver Knights. They find themselves one game away from heading back to a championship game series after being shut out last year, the first time ever they have not appeared in the playoffs. What do they have to do tonight to make that next step?
Pitch and hit. Same thing they did last night. It's interesting. There's a couple of lineup differences. First of all, New Britain has Joel Lara, who just got the Player of the Year award. They've got him not leading off. They've got a hitting second, which is interesting, and they're going to go with Torniero as the leadoff hitter. And for Nashua, Jemison is out of the lineup and replaced by Johnny Knox. So those are a couple changes from day to day that we see here, and it'll be interesting to see if Nashua can get out to the fast start, Jason, that they had last night.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more in just a minute. El St. Louis to do the national anthem. We'll be right back right after this rendition of the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, that was El St. Louis with the national anthem. 5,000 outings plus for Mr. St. Louis, and a wonderful job. Tom, we talked about these two teams, and you have to look at the Nashua Silver Knights. They had a very slow start to their season. I believe at one point they were 3-14 or something.
4-13.
Yeah.
10-17. I've talked about it at length in terms of that first game of the doubleheader against Worcester on June 28th, where they looked dead, they looked disinterested, they were throwing the ball all over the place, making fundamental mistakes. And Kyle Jackson had seen enough, and he gathered them together and said, okay, this is where we stop, and you have to decide one way or the other which kind of team you're going to be. And, of course, they made the right decision, and here we go. So, they've secured that spot in the playoffs. The one thing I worry about them right now, bullpen fine, starting pitching, they've lost some guys.
Well,
so
you mentioned starting pitching. They're gonna start with Nolan Lincoln, a 3.4 ERA, 4-1 on the year. But is that are the numbers? Do they lie to us, Tom?
No, Lincoln's a good pitcher. I think his last start, that ERA jumped up a little bit because of he had a bicep. He just stretched his arm out, if you saw that, after throwing. So watch his arm. See, he does it again. Watch and see how that bicep feels. because they pulled him from his last start because of it, and that was about a week ago. So that was actually last Wednesday night. So we'll see how things go for Nolan Lincoln in this game. He's pitched. Look, this kid is a championship pitcher. He's pitched on a national championship team in Central Connecticut. So, he knows what he's doing, a Londonderry native. And, it's going to be, can he give you what Cabral did last night? Cabral was just, in another world. So at one point it was 44-12 in terms of strikes, balls. So, then he got tired in the sixth inning.
Well, adrenaline has to play a part in this, right, Tom? I mean, he's a 6'4", 220-pound junior, in Connecticut, as you mentioned, out of Londonderry. But at some point, you have to say, look, this is the playoffs. It is a win and move on situation, and you kind of maybe you get that little extra adrenaline flow where you put the pain behind you.
It's a chance to clinch at home and move on. But the deal is, New Britain, every time they've come to Holman, they have hit the snot out of the ball.
And you mentioned that they are the New Britain Bees. When they say they are undefeated here this year at Holman Stadium. But the bright side of that is, you feel like you might be due if you're the Silver Knights. And if you have to go to a Game 3, Silver Knights are undefeated at New Britain. So something's got to give tonight. Hopefully we can
I'd much rather have
move
to play
on.
I'd much rather have to play a deciding game at home rather than on the road.
Mike Turnero, the left fielder, first pitch swinging, that one foul right back to Tom King.
Yep.
Just at his window.
Yep. Hit right off the right side.
Is that an E10? Did you miss that one,
Oh,
Tom?
I missed
Error
it, yes.
10? Okay.
I could have reached it. I could have reached it. It was that
0-1.
close.
Second pitch swing and a miss, and
That'd probably end up, with a hand injury.
so Turnero pulling that head to the left field side, missing that second pitch, quickly down 0-2 to Lincoln. Swing and just got a piece of it fouled back.
Went for the high pitch that didn't have a whole lot of velocity on it. Lincoln, will hit the corners. He'll keep you off balance and every once in a while sneak that fastball by you.
Gets the sign, the delivery. Swing and a bounding grounder to the shortstop, fired across the body. And what a great scoop there at first base to retire Turnero. And it was a great play, Tom, by Will McLean.
He's played a flawless first base lately. He's been on fire there defensively. Has played very well. But I like the shortstop who made the throw. He's a Colby player, Brady O'Brien. They signed him a couple of weeks ago, and they threw him out there at short and said, okay, let's see what you got. And he played in the FCBL, I think, this year. He's got a lot. He's been a big addition for them. Spark plug.
And first pitch swinging there, but it looked like they had him dialed right on. Target was Joel Laro. We mentioned the center fielder got some postseason, some regular season rather, awards, but he flies out to left field
and he's
to
now,
Velasquez.
if I'm not mistaken, he's 0 for 5 or 0 for 5 in these playoffs so far, 0 for 5 or 0 for 6.
So 2 down quickly here in the top of the first as Coley, the right fielder, will step in to the box and get his first look at Lincoln. The windup, the delivery, and a good pitch there with some movement late. Outside corner, taking all the way down 0-1 is Coley.
Got to be careful where you pitch these guys. They can put it out of here in a hurry.
Yeah, the batting average is really good for this team as Coley finds himself down 0-2. Now Lincoln has some room to play a little bit. Swing and a foul down the left side into the bullpen of the New Britain Bees. New Britain finished the regular season at 37-26. They are the 2 seed. Meanwhile, Nashua comes in at 33-29 as the 3 seed. Swing high outside, cheese, and he got him.
Jeff Kleiner behind the plate.
Wow. Coley,
making that call.
I don't think Coley thought so, but it's not his opinion that matters. So 3 up, 3 down for the New Britain Bees. And
that's big. I thought last night I was a little worried about Nashua because they started out with a single by O'Brien and a double by McDermott, second and third at the top of the first, nobody out, did not score. I'm like, uh-oh, this is not a good sign for them. But it's so important not to have to play from behind and to at least keep New Britain off the board in the top of the first inning the way that New Britain did last night.
Well, a couple of things there, Tom, and I think if you look at the top of the first, you were challenged by a ground ball to short that was played and a good scoop at first. You had the second batter shaded correctly out in left field, and then your pitcher helping out matters with a great three-pitch sequence there to get the third batter looking. So everybody kind of, all three phases of the game there, they seem to be dialed into these Silver Knights. And you mentioned that at the beginning of the game. It was a team that at the start of this season really wasn't dialed in, right? I mean, they really weren't necessarily focused, and Kyle Jackson called them out on that.
There were a lot of moving parts to this team at the start of the year, as there are for every team. Kids, high school players come late, or, high school grads come late, the incoming freshmen. And the other players who were in conference tournaments, things like that. So you kind of have to manage it smartly in terms of, okay, who's in, who's out. And it takes a while to bond and get some cohesion. But once we were at the end of June, you were well past that point.
And that's always been the strength, right, of this, regardless of who the skipper was, that the ground or the blueprint laid out was, how we start isn't always how we finish. You have names on the roster down the road
right.
that you don't necessarily see at the beginning of the season that you see at the end of the year.
Yeah, no, the rosters change after the first 2 weeks, and they change with 2 weeks to go. That's how it works.
So the Vermont Lake Monsters on the other side of things rallied for a 6-2 win last night. And they have a 1-0 series lead. They are the defending champions. So should Nashua win here tonight, for all intents and purposes, it appears that they might face those Lock Monsters. A lot of baseball to go here as Brady O'Brien, the shortstop, will step in to face young Mr. Brian Krause, 2-0 on the season. 25 2/3 innings pitched. And his first pitch taken low for a ball.
Krause works fast with nobody on base. Of course, now Brady. So O'Brien kind of made him wait.
As a sports writer, Tom, you have to like that. Fast work on the mound.
Yep. Although I didn't like the hour delay we had in New Britain last night that I thought certainly could have been avoided.
An outstanding article written by Tom King, and that ball bounced to the shortstop. One step fire, a good strong arm there, and thrown out at first was O'Brien. So one down, home team part of the first.
Now batting, remain first call. Second baseman number 26, Jack McDermott.
And Jack McDermott, who we read in Tom's article last night, had a monster evening last night. Of course, protected by Kyle Wolfe, the DH in the third spot, but McDermott just having his way with the pitching last night. Couple of home runs, 5 RBIs.
Well, he had been down in the third hole when Kyle Wolfe was out for a few days, having his wisdom teeth taken out. There's a high bouncer. Oh, nice play.
What a great play by the shortstop there to retire McDermott. Finish that thought, Tom.
And and putting him back up in the second hole with McDermott back. With Wolfe back, McDermott feels a lot more comfortable. And, boy, those shots that he hit last night, those were off the bat, shots. All to right, pulled to right field,
Elliott,
into the night.
Yeah, Elliott Good, the shortstop for the Bees, making a couple of nice plays, making them look really easy. John Collins-esque out there at shortstop.
Please.
Kyle Wolfe now, the 3-hitter, will take high cheese inside.
First of all, Collins takes the easy way out because he plays second base, so he takes the easy way out.
Good call. He's closer to first, right?
Yeah.
A lot shorter throw.
Yeah, exactly. So
Wolfe down quickly here, 0-2. As Tom mentioned, one of the leading hitters here for the Silver Knights. Finds himself back in the 3 spot. Swing and a foul out of play to the right side. Will stay alive, 0-2.
But you get to this time of year, it is all about the pitching. There were some Nashua fans in New Britain last night, few.
Huge crowd there last night, right, Tom? Over 2,000
yeah,
people.
they listed 2,000. I would have thought 15, 16, 17, but
Okay.
from what I saw, ooh, hits them. That's the 5th Silver Knights batter that has been hit by a pitch in this series already.
So, not what you want to see.
But that stadium is big.
Yeah.
It's big, so you know it's tough to really estimate. You can estimate the crowd here pretty well, but there, New Britain, it's all spread out, very big, nice stadium. Last night was their first postseason game for any of their franchises. They've had some minor league teams there. First one since 2007, 15 years.
So cocktail trivia provided to you by Tom King. McNamara now, the left-handed first pitch swinging, and that is set, and it's a shot. Will it fall? Oh! And
he says he caught it. Did he?
No, I'm not quite sure what
I
happened.
don't know
They're
what he
looking
was.
around.
I don't know what he was raising his glove for. So
we don't have the review
evidently
here.
Not. We don't know. They're not coming in.
So McNamara with a deep shot to right center.
Now the question is, was he saying it's I thought he was raising his glove to say ground rule double.
The umpires are meeting just beyond
they're not
the
meeting.
mound.
They're not meeting for a catch, although the right fielder's coming in. So they're going to make Wolfe go back to. They're going to make.
Call.
They're going to make Wolfe go back to third.
So that must have hit one of the signs, maybe, Tom, just above the.
If it hit the sign above, it's gone.
Well, no, off the ground or off some. I mean,
doesn't matter.
If it hit the ground first.
Doesn't matter.
If it hits the ground first and hits the back sign, it is not a.
Oh, hits and bounces up.
Right.
Yeah, but didn't he throw a ball back in? Did it come back in?
Right, that's what I'm saying. It hits the ground. Maybe it hits the St.
Maybe
Joseph Hospital sign.
I'd have to see it again, but he raised his glove immediately. So McNamara with a double. We got second and third for Velasquez.
And a quick 1-0 lead here
is erased.
So now second and third. So interesting call there. We'll see if that comes back to play a part in tonight's decision. Swing.
It's going to play a part in this inning, that's for sure.
Is.
So for the second time in the 2 games, Nashua leaves runners at second and third in their first inning at the plate. I'm Tom King along with Jason Roby. Jason, I will be headed down, take a couple photos, and then we'll get back here as soon as possible.
Sounds good. He is Tom King, the man of many hats, working for the Nashua Telegraph, Nashua ETV. The man can juggle chainsaws on fire. He is Tom King. We'll try to do our best to call the next couple of innings here in his absence. Jason Roby along with Tim O'Neill on the moving pictures. Our executive producer is Pete Johnson. And we are at game 2 of the FCBL semifinals between the New Britain Bees and the Nashua Silver Knights. Of course, last night, the Nashua Silver Knights winning game 1 and a terrific pitched game by Evan Cabral. 78 pitches over 6 innings, 58 of them for strikes. He gave up 2 earned runs, but impressive 12, count them, 12 strikeouts. And that sets the Silver Knights up here tonight with a chance to win and take a trip to the FCBL finals. Of course, a lot of work to do between now and then, but an outstanding effort and a great way to start the postseason. As we mentioned prior, the Silver Knights enter the game with a 33-29 regular season, while the New Britain Bees are at 37-26. They went on a nice little winning streak of their own there to wrap up the second seed. Of course, the number that matters the most is the 1-0 that the Silver Knights have heading into tonight's game. As we mentioned prior to the top of the second, is that the Bees have owned Nashua here this year at Holman Stadium, a perfect 5-0 record to date. Silver Knights trying to buck that trend. So Colton Shaw, the first baseman, will step into the right side box and have to face Nolan Lincoln. Lincoln delivers high and inside, taken for ball 1. Shaw. Bat against his shoulder swing. Second pitch right to the shortstop. Plenty of time to gather himself. And the put out. And a nice play there, looking extremely confident in the early going is Brady O'Brien, as Tom King mentioned. So Tyler Petterini, the third baseman, a left-handed batter, will take strike one. Swing and fouled into the dugout to the left side, and Nolan Lincoln is working fast. It was mentioned that Brian Krause likes to work fast. Well, Nolan Lincoln saying I can work fast too, as swing, foul right back into the netting, still 0-2 to Tyler Petterini, the third baseman of the Bees. Grounded to the second baseman. Quick put out over to first, so nice job in the field there, making the plays that you're supposed to make. That was Jack McDermott with the quick put out. And Kyle Jackson mentioned it, you know, let the defense work behind you. Let them make the outs they're supposed to make, and up to this point, top of the second, 2 outs. Timeout is called behind the plate. Home plate umpire steps to his right. He'll step back into his spot. But Kyle Jackson mentioned we got to make the plays behind the pitcher if we want to move on. Swing, first pitch, fly into right field, and just like that, 3 up, 3 down for the Silver Knights as C.J. Brito Trinidad, the designated hitter, pops out to end the inning. So we will head to the bottom of the second inning, scoreless. The Knights have the 1 hit and the 1 hit by pitch, but have nothing to show for it, as they had runners at second and third. And so we will head into the top of the second inning. Johnny Knox, the third baseman, will be followed by Will McLean and Kyle DeRoma, the catcher. Anybody gets on, it'll be Mcdermott, the center fielder. And they will all get their first look at Brian Krause. And we'll get you some numbers on Krause. We didn't have a chance to there in the bottom of the first, but Krause has appeared in 9 games. He is 2-0. He's pitched 25 2/3 innings. He's given up 21 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them earned, 6 walks, 27 strikeouts. And again, it says here he is 3-2. So depending on which stat you go with, Krause has known both sides of the ledger. Most importantly, a 2.45 ERA for Mr. Krause. And he will need to bring all of that here this evening. He is a 5'9", 160-pound sophomore at the University of Rhode Island. Calls home Trumbull, Connecticut. And as we mentioned, digging into the right side box is third baseman Johnny Knox. Knox taking an outside fastball for called strike 1. Knox evens the count up at 1-1, and Johnny batted .322 here this year in 15 games. He had 59 at bats with 14 hits, or rather 19 hits, excuse me. Swing and gets wrong on that one, down 1-2. Knox takes a deep breath, steps back into the batter's box. Wide stance, ranging the full depth of the batter's box, and fouls one down on the left side. Count stays at 1-2. Beautiful night at the ballpark here. Shadows from the pitcher's mound all the way into home plate. Sun everywhere else except left field, and that ball stroked into center field. Looks like they had him shaded correctly as it's gathered in there. So Knox, the first out of the inning, flying out to
From University of Massachusetts, first baseman number
the
31,
outfield.
Will McClain.
Will McClain, the first baseman, will step into the box, get his first look of the evening at Brian Krause. McClain high and outside takes ball one. He batted .257 here this year in the regular season. 148 bats, 38 hits. That one taken for a called strike. Count evens up at 1-1. Nice play by McClain in the first inning on a scoop. That one missing, but not by much. 2 balls and a strike now to McClain. Breaking ball and no call there. Count evens up at 2-2. McClain, of course, out of Exeter, New Hampshire. The 6'3", 205-pound sophomore plays his college ball at UMass. That one taken high, and he will draw the walk. So McClain will head down to first here in the bottom of the second. Kyle DeRoma, the catcher, will step in.
Catcher number 25, Kyle DeRoma.
DeRoma calls Drake at Mass home. 6'1", 180-pound righty, is a senior at WPI. DeRoma digs in. That taken high and outside, ball one. McClain with a modest lead over at first. Krause peers over, comes to the set. Deliver, and outside, ball two. So DeRoma now quickly ahead, 2-0. Krause, the delivery, that taken for a called strike. Outside corner. 2 balls and a strike now to the catcher. Quick peer over to first base, the set, the delivery, and swinging. Have to take the play at first because McClain was on the run with the pitch. Had to be a strike there, so DeRoma, fielder's choice to shortstop. Matt D'Amato, the center fielder, will now come up with a runner in scoring position. D'Amato calls Midland Park, New Jersey home. Outside, ball one. The 5'8", 170-pound lefty plays his college ball at Salve, Virginia, heading into his senior year. Delivery taken low. 2 balls, no strikes now to D'Amato. McClain not really being held on, so generous lead off of second. Peers over his left shoulder to check the shortstop. High and inside, 3-0 now to D'Amato. And if you're the Bees, not what you want to see here, as the 9-hitter facing a 3-0 count. Strike one taken outside part of the plate. 3-1 now to D'Amato. The delivery, swing and a miss there. Now we are full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. D'Amato took a big cut at that offering and missed. So we'll see what Kraus delivers here. Payoff pitch. High and outside, ball 4. So the number 9 hitter for the Silver Knights gets a free pass to first. And that'll bring up the top of the order, Brady O'Brien, the shortstop, and we'll have a quick meeting at the mound here. I always found it interesting, Tim, that the coaches got numbers and uniforms, you know? It's an interesting thing here in baseball. Brings you back to the days of the player manager. So you could actually play in the game and manage the ball club. And has John Collins ever worn his uniform up here, Tim? Not to your knowledge? Okay. Okay. Brady O'Brien stepping into the box, grounded out to the shortstop in his first at bat. Runner is in scoring position. And a called strike 1 to O'Brien. The delivery, swing and a high fly ball being called for by the second baseman. Has the shades on, and that will do it for O'Brien and the Silver Knights as they leave a couple more runners stranded at first and second. We'll head to the top of the third. Your score is 0-0. So thus far, Silver Knights have left 4 runners stranded in the first 2 innings. Again, we'll have to keep a close eye on that, see if that rears its ugly head later on in this one. We'll head to the top of the third. Lincoln will face the shortstop Good, the catcher Nickel, and the second baseman DeRosa. If anybody gets on, back to the top of the order with Tornero. Jason Roby here calling the action on Nashua ETV along with Tom King. Tim O'Neill's on the moving pictures, our executive producer, Pete Johnson. Nashua won the first game last night to go up 1-0 in this best-of-3 series. A win tonight will propel them into the finals of the FCBL. And we hate to say we're accustomed to being there, but if you look out into the left field, just above the left field wall, this Nashua Silver Knights team is a 5-time champion here in the league, and so they are no stranger to postseason success. As a matter of fact, I was doing a little bit of history searching here. I believe this Silver Knights team, after last night, is 22-8 in the postseason since the FCBL came into existence. Tim O'Neill holding me the history and record book here, and I'm sure Tom King will dissect this later on this evening. A great piece of history here. Get a chance to take a peek at it, but yeah, 22-8 are the Silver Knights in postseason play since the start of the FCBL, and 5, count them, 5 league championships. Elliot Good, the shortstop, up quickly 2-0 here in the top of the third. Swing and a high fly ball sailing to his right is the left fielder for the Silver Knights, Ray Velasquez. He sizes it up, and one down quickly here in the top of the third.
Connecticut State University, catcher, number 7, Jeff Nickel.
Jeff Nickel, the catcher, will get his first look at Nolan Lincoln. Taken outside for a ball. Nickel is a 6'1", 195-pound righty, a senior at Central Connecticut State. He calls Wolcott, Connecticut home. Second pitch swinging, and that looks like it's going to drop unless it hangs. And oh my God, a web gem there by the right fielder, and he knew it right off the bat. Had a great read on it. Was Shane McNamara, and that may have been extra bases dialed in there for Nickel. But the right fielder McNamara would have nothing of it as he leaps. Hello Sports Center, top play, top of the third. So 2 down quickly here, flashing the leather out there in right field was Shane McNamara. Wow, what a great play. The number 9 hitter, the second baseman, Matt DeRosa, will step into the box. He is up 1-0. Swing and tried to frame it there, did Kyle DeRoma. Couldn't quite bring it back in, so 2-0 now to the 9 hitter. You don't want to give those 9 hitters free passes. And that ball low and away, and quickly 3-0 now on 3 straight pitches to DeRosa. Swing and a slow roller to the second baseman, gobbled up and put away there. So DeRosa and the Bees will be retired. We're going to head to the bottom of the third, and the highlight there and the top half of that inning was the diving stab out in right field by Shane McNamara. So both teams making quick work here as we'll head to the bottom of the third inning. And it will be McDermott, Wolfe, and McNamara. Anybody gets on, it'll be Velasquez. My crazy Tim, that was a great stab out there, right? I mean, you have to determine right off the bat if you're going to try to make that play. If that ball gets by McNamara, that has extra bases written all over it because the center fielder had a long way to go, and McNamara determined at a very early stage in that play that he was going to make the dive, and wow, flashed that leather, gobbled that thing up. You know it's playoff baseball. Every at-bat means something. And these two teams just taking each other's best punch. And we'll see if the Silver Knights here in the bottom half of the third can finally capitalize on some of those runners on base. They've left 4 through the first 2 innings of play. First inning, runners were stranded on second and third, and in the second inning on first and second. Shane McDermott, or excuse me, Jack McDermott. I apologize, I said Shane's name because I'm still thinking about that catch out in right field. Jack McDermott, the second baseman, grounded out to short in his first at bat. We'll see what he can do here in his second attempt. That pitch is outside. McDermott, .253 batter in the regular season. That one hit high and out of play, just to the left side. So McDermott will even the count up at 1-1. Jack played in 47 games. He's had 158 at bats, 40 hits. Swing and sky high into left field, drifting back a couple of steps, fighting the wind. The wind's blowing out directly to center field, but gathered underneath it. was the left fielder for the New Britain Bees, Mike Tornero.
Kyle Wolfe.
Wolfe, who was hit by a pitch and made it all the way to third in the first inning and was sent back to third. He actually scored, but the umpires got together, a meeting at the mound, and Wolfe smokes that one and just foul out of play. And he had a beat on that pitch, did Wolfe, the designated hitter. Great to see him back in the lineup here. During the regular season, Wolfe hit .322, 149 at bats. He had 48 hits. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. Now 0-2. We'll see if Wolfe chokes up and protects the plate here. Fouled out of play to the right side. Count stays at 0-2. Still just one down here. Top of the third, or rather bottom of the third inning. So both teams very focused here in the early going of this one. Breaking ball gets away from the catcher. Good stop in the dirt. And they will retire Wolfe on the put out down to first. So swinging strike and then thrown to first on the bobbled.
Eastern Nazarene College, right fielder number 47, Shane
McNamara, who had the ground rule double in the first inning and the outstanding web gem to right field. The top of the third takes ball one outside. McNamara batted .258 in the regular season. Breaking ball that does everything but break. 2 balls and no strikes now to the number 4 hitter for the Silver Knights. That pitch inside, just off the edge of the plate. The plate was 18 inches, would have been a strike. Plate 17 and no soup for you. So 3-0 now to the right fielder. Taking all the way, and he'll take a called strike. 3 balls and a strike now to McNamara. Swing going the other way, out of play, into the pines. Full count. Folks still slowly coming into Holman Stadium here as this game moves along. And I'll tell you what, right now, as soon as that ball hit Nichols' mitt, he was heading to the dugout as he knew it was called strike 3. So McNamara will go down looking, and we will head to the top of the 4th. Your score is still 0-0, just the one hit by the Silver Knights, and that, of course, coming off the bat of McNamara, the ground rule double. So we'll head into the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Tornero, Lara, and Coley. Anybody gets on, Colton will get a shot at it as some T-shirts being thrown into the stands here. Want to say hello to our friends in Bedford and Chester. And if you are watching, we are on channel 96 tonight in Nashua. Usually we're 99, we are 96 tonight. So changing it up just a little bit. Nashua ETV. Hello to our friends in Bedford and Chester. Jason Roby here calling the action along with Tom King. Tim O'Neill on the moving pictures. Our executive producer is Pete Johnson. Happy to be with you here tonight on a beautiful evening. Clouds are in the sky. 6:39 on the scoreboard. The Nashua Silver Knights with a 1-0 advantage in this best-of-3 semifinal series with the New Britain Bees. And both teams working extremely quickly here Hard to believe we're 39 minutes in and we are at the top of the 4th inning already. And if this keeps up, we won't hear from Tom King again for the rest of the night, Tim O'Neill. Yeah, that's about right. So the left fielder, Mike Ternero, will step in. He grounded out to short in his first at bat. Swing and a miss, and again pulling that head out to left field. And he had bad intentions on that swing, but nothing to show for it, except maybe a pulled trap muscle. Swing, that one fouled back and to the right. Had his timing a little bit better there, but Ternero, the leadoff hitter, down 0-2. Swing and a little nubber hit to the second baseman. There was some English on that ball, but it was read quite well by the second baseman for the Silver Knights, Jack Mcdermott. So the first out is retired, or recorded rather. That'll bring up Joel Lara, who popped out to left field in his first at bat. And an impressive 54 stolen bases here on the season. He'll take a called strike one, Will Lara, but 54 thefts throughout the course of this year. And to put that in, perspective, swing and a high, towering fly ball, long way to come. Plenty of time for the second baseman to get out there, and underneath it was Mcdermott. So 2 quick outs. But just to go back to Lara, he stole 54 bases in 50 games. That is unbelievable. And that ball hit high, bounce to third baseman, a rocket ship from third over to first, and flashing the leather here tonight. You can tell it is playoff baseball as Johnny Knox gathered up, fired over to first. That will retire the side. Mark Coley will go down, and we will head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still scoreless here at Historic Holman Stadium. Al St. Louis handing me a red, white, and blue ball here. And I don't know if we can see this, Tim, but got a push-up competition. Not sure if Tom King is involved with this, but I'll try to bring it over to you. A red, white, and blue American flag ball handed to me by Al St. Louis. And on the back of that, it says Al St. Louis National Anthem record. His 5,000th performance was on August 7th of 2022. So 2 nights ago, Al St. Louis, 5,000 times he has sang the national anthem. Congratulations, Al, and hopefully we'll see you in the next round for some addition to that national record. And while Tim was getting that on camera, not sure if Tom King won the push-up contest or not. I'm going to bet against it. We're going to head to the bottom of the 4th inning. As Brian Krause has lived dangerously but gotten out of a couple of jams. And he will face the left fielder Velasquez, the third baseman Knox, and the first baseman McLean. If anyone gets on, it'll be DeRoma, the catcher, with an opportunity. So moving right along.
Number 23, Ray Velasquez.
And Velasquez will step into the right side box. And again, we don't give you the playoff stats because there's just one game behind him, but Velasquez batted .291 here during the regular season. He will take low and outside for ball 1. Velasquez has had 110 at-bats with 32 hits, 16 RBIs, He will take strike one. Count evens up at 1-1. Velasquez popped up to second in his first at bat. 2-1 now to the left fielder. And you just sense more of a focus by both of these teams in terms of where they're shading and how they're playing each pitch, as they seem to be dialed in. Swing and a miss and an off-speed offering by Kraus. Count evens up at 2-2, but no room for error here for either team, and more specifically for the New Britain Bees, who are down 1-0 in this series. A loss here and their season will end. So if you are the 2 seed, you're looking to extend this thing back to your home field. Full count now. Swing and just getting a piece of it, and it is a foul ball, but not by much. It was inside the line all the way to the bag. Then that English just spun it to the right side. Full count now to Velasquez. And he was staying alive as that ball was reached for off the end of the bat. So he'll get another hack at it. Swing and a fast ground ball. Good hop there to the shortstop, and they will retire Velasquez. And it took an interesting bounce, as it looked like Elliott Good was expecting it to stay more to the middle of his body, and it bounced more to the glove side, but he was up for the task and gets the put out. Johnny Knox, the third baseman, popped out to left field his first at bat. He'll dig in, squares up to bunt and quickly pulls it back. And that may have thrown Kraus a little bit. 1-0 now to the third baseman. Swing, and that one is roped and running from his left to right. A couple of quick first steps there. And settling underneath it was Sean Colton. Off the bat, it looked like it would travel a little bit further. Colton had to run quite a bit, but the second out is retired. So one might say Knox just missed that one. Will McLean, who walked his first time at bat, will dig in, the 7-hitter. Swing, and that one sent about 1.5 miles into the sky. Settling up underneath it in foul territory is the third baseman, Tyler Pitterini, and he will gather up underneath it, and that will retire the side here. We'll head to the top of the 5th inning. Your score from Historic Holman Stadium. The Nashua Silver Knights, easy for me to say, 0, and the New Britain Bees 0. So making his way back out to the mound is Nolan Lincoln. Lincoln will face the first baseman Colton Shaw, the third baseman Tyler Petterini, and the designated hitter C.J. Brito Trinidad. Anybody gets on, it'll be the shortstop Elliott Gould. We are heading to the top of the 5th inning, and the scoreboard clock reads 6:48. So both teams working at a fast pace here in game number 2 of the FCBL semifinals. Fall sports set to begin here soon in the city and around the state as high school teams get ready to take the field and/or court and/or course for the fall campaigns. It has been a sweltering summer here in the Gate City and around the state. Temperatures hovering in the mid to high 90s the last few days. Maybe a break in the weather just a little bit. shadows cover all of the infield, or most of the infield grass now, and also spreading from left field out into center as the sun slowly starts to descend in the west. Colton Shaw digs in and will take a call first strike. Must have grabbed the outside portion of that 17 inches late. He is down 0-1. He grounded out to the shortstop. His first at bat, and a nice pitch there by Lincoln. Colton flailed at it and missed, down 0-2. That one taken high and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to the Bees' first baseman. Swing, and that one roped to center field. A long way to go for the center fielder, but settling underneath it, played it quite well, was Mcdermott, the center fielder for the Silver Knights. And off the bat, it looked like it maybe had a chance, but D'Amato got on his Pontiac and rode and was able to gather himself underneath it to retire the first baseman.
Boy, Jason Roby, something's got to give here.
Tom, welcome back. The game's almost over.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? and I have no photos to show for it.
Well, we were enjoying ourselves immensely. I've called one heck of a game.
Yeah.
You'll have to watch it back on Nashua ETV replay.
Yeah, I will when I have 5 minutes, you know. That's about how long it's going to take.
And squaring up to bunt. That one's going to roll foul, quickly gobbled up by the third baseman. So how about that play, Tom King, in right field, the dive by McNamara.
Highlight of the day so far.
Perhaps a web gem in the making. We'll
Yeah.
see. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. That pitch taken outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Petterini, the third baseman. Both pitchers working quickly, Tom, but as we've mentioned here, swing and a high bouncing ball, losing his step, but covering first.
Nice
and
play
what
by
a great
Lincoln.
play by Lincoln.
Lincoln got over there. McLean slipped. If McLean tried to cover it himself, the runner would have been safe. So,
and that's stuff that you talk about at in training camp, the beginning of the season. It becomes second nature. But how many times have we seen it, even at the professional ranks? Sometimes the pitcher doesn't cover. Well, not tonight. And that's a great segue to what I was just saying, Tom, is knock on wood, but these teams seem to be positioned correctly, making the right plays, hyper-focused on what they're supposed to be doing out in the field here tonight.
yeah, no doubt about it.
This will be C.J. Brito Trinidad, the DH. He popped out to right fielder, his first at bat. That's taken just a bit outside, ball 1. 2 outs so far here in the top of the 5th. Swing, and again, that one just a little bit further outside. So Brito Trinidad ahead 2-0 against Lincoln.
Well, Lincoln's fallen behind before and come back. So, 1 hit in this game. The ground rule double that.
An interesting call, Tom. What
yeah.
did you see out there?
I wasn't out there when it happened.
Okay.
So I was in here.
That's right. There was a run that was taken off the board because
it was
he was a runner on
right.
first, right?
I'll find out what the ruling was afterwards.
Swing, and they had him shaded, Tom, to right field, and he kind of went the other way with it a little bit. They played him to, I guess, to push it, and he pulled it. So,
well, he's excited about it.
So the one time, and I knew I was going to jinx somebody, the one time they didn't have him shaded properly results in the first hit of the evening for the Bees. And
right, and my guess is look for the hit and run here.
Right.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do if I were them. The old hit and run.
So Good flew out to left field his first at bat. We'll see if the Bees can parlay this into a run as Brito Trinidad, modest lead over at first. 1 ball, 1 strike to good. Swing and a miss, and he pulled his head way out as well, and that pitch was dancing on the outside portion of the 17. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now to good. He'll have to protect that plate. See what Brito Trinidad does. He's taken off. Swing, high cheese. Throw is high, and Brito Trinidad will slide in safely. And that was a good first move there by the designated hitter. He had already taken 3 steps by the time Lincoln had come to the plate.
Right, exactly.
2 balls, 2 strikes,
And now
2 outs.
chance to bleed a run in.
Swing and a miss,
big.
high inside cheese.
What a big strikeout by Lincoln as he went inside, challenged the hitter. I always say you're better when you're in attack mode than cautious mode in the game of baseball. Last night at the plate, Nashua was in attack mode, Cabral was in attack mode, and Lincoln right there in attack mode. And as a result, we have played 5.5. We are halfway through. Nary a run. Scoreless.
6:55 on the scoreboard as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, Tom.
And last night, we hadn't even started in New Britain. Hadn't even started because of the, I don't know. I just wonder how the heck that infield just was not able to get prepared to in a short amount of time, obviously, but it was tough to sit there and just wait for the infield to dry, which is what we all did last night. 2,000 people and whoever else was there.
And sit and wait.
Yeah, sit and wait. That's what we had to do. They didn't have enough quick dry, obviously, or didn't want to pour any on there. I mean, I'm not a ground screw guy, so I don't know what you want, what you think you have to do, or what you think you should do. I don't know how to deal with it. I'd love to talk to somebody to find out what you should have done. But
well, George Toma was nowhere to be found.
No, he wasn't.
And Tom, make sure you get your toothbrush back there. I just noticed they were cleaning the bases off of those.
That's right. Yeah.
But Toma nowhere to be found, and so you had to hurry up and wait as the field needed to dry out a little bit. The water needed to soak into the ground. But it was great news for the Cabral and the Silver Knights as he pitched a gem last night. 6 innings, 12 strikeouts, 78 pitches, 58 of them for strikes. It was a very impressive outing for Cabral and the Silver Knights.
Yeah, just tired a little bit down the stretch at in that 6th as he was pitching away. It got out of attack mode, if you will. But look, didn't matter. He was superb. Just his best start of the season and one of the best starts, other than what we see tonight from Lincoln,
right,
by a Silver Knight.
Well, both pitchers really. I mean, Kraus working himself out of a couple of jams early, but has battled up to this point. He'll face DeRoma, who grounded out to shortstop, and he's first pitch swinging, and that thing sent the long way. Center fielder backing up to the wall.
I think he got it.
And
he did not get it.
And that is a round tripper for DeRoma. And nobody in the stands knew it. DeRoma didn't know it. He stopped at second.
Right.
Looked out there, saw that the center fielder did not have it in his glove. Hit it to the Bud Light sign there, and it is gone. And DeRoma, the 8-hitter in the lineup, goes yard. The Silver Knights up 1-0.
Boy, you're watching that ball carry, and you're watching Lara. What's he going to do? Is he going to say he had it? He didn't hold the glove up in the air this time. And it goes over. He made quite a try to get that ball.
Lara's one of the best players, if not the best player in the league.
Well, he's got the hardware. He's got the hardware to show it. Yeah, exactly.
And if anybody could have made that play, it would have been him. It had to be hit just right to escape his mitt. And the Silver Knights found themselves up 1-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 9-hitter Mcdermott, who walked his first at bat, will get his second look at Kraus. Swing and a miss. He was fooled terribly on that pitch. But off the bat, you kind of knew as Lara was dead sprinting towards the Machete Funeral Home sign.
You watch the outfielder. That's how you could tell exactly. You heard the crack of the bat. You heard it take off and fly out there. And then you just kind of watch the outfielder to see what he's doing, and you could see Lara just chasing. I didn't think it was out. I thought it was going to be off the wall or he was going to rob him, but it ended up having enough.
I thought it was going to be a home run.
Yep.
D'Amato, 2 balls and 2 strikes, staying alive on that foul pitch. Just got a piece of it. Swing, and again staying alive. BGs would be proud as D'Amato, the 9-hitter, will get another offering from Kraus. Swing, goes the other way with it off the inside part of the bat. A long throw for the third baseman, and a great job, great play by the third baseman, Petterini, as they retire D'Amato.
Yeah, they know they've got to make that throw quick because D'Amato, after Musacchia, after his season ended with an injury, D'Amato retains the title of fastest Silver Knight.
He's got some wheels.
Yep. Here's O'Brien. O'Brien, I was surprised in a clutch situation that he kind of popped up last time because he's a line drive hitter.
Well, Bryan is 0 for 2 thus far. He grounded out to the shortstop and popped up to second his first 2 times at bat. He will get his third look at Kraus, and he is up 1-0 in this at bat. And that ball taken low. O'Brien now up 2-0. Bottom of the 5th inning, 1-0 Silver Knights on the home run by DeRoma. Swing and going the other way with it, and that will find its way out of play.
And then the kids are all chasing after it. That's great.
They are.
It all started.
So a souvenir there.
You know,
for a lucky fan.
At the start of the game, it was early. It was before 6, and I said, "This isn't that big of a crowd. This is a pretty good crowd."
Yeah, we mentioned, Tom, when you went down that people were still kind of filing in
they
here.
Were.
That ball rifled to the right and out of play.
They were, and it's a good crowd. It's a quiet crowd.
Yeah,
but it's a good crowd.
Well, not much. I mean, some great plays in the field, but
sure,
nothing really to cheer about. And everything's happened so quickly. It's like you blink, and we're in the 5th inning, the 6th inning.
No, you killed us.
Swing and a slow grounder. It'll be a tough play. Gobbled up there by the shortstop, and a safe call, and it's a right call, Tom.
It is the right call.
And Brady O'Brien flashing some wheels there. It had to be a perfect throw, and it was. O'Brien was just able to beat it out with great speed out of the box.
So let's see if he can get another run in. They can get another run in, so we don't have to go. After you just jinxed us. 13 innings, 1-1.
I'm telling you right now, I've 3 or 4 of my comments have been jinxable offenses, and none of them have come to fruition yet. So I'm just going to keep at it.
You've done it before.
Guilty as charged, sir.
Yeah. Done it before.
Jack McDermott, the second baseman, takes a breaking ball, and it misses, and the catcher, I don't think, could believe it. Nickel looked back as if to say, wait, you called that a ball?
Yeah, I thought it was a strike. Yeah. But I'm from the other angle, though. I'm off to the left.
Like
I'm off to the right. So you got a better angle than I do.
It looked like a strike to these eyes, but I've got 4 of them as I'm wearing glasses, so.
But now you've got McDermott, the big bopper last night, and you've got the runner, O'Brien. Chance to do some things here if you want to.
Well, a 2-0 count to McDermott, so has to be a strike here. It is, and McDermott goes the other way, fouling it left and out of play. McDermott grounded out to the shortstop and flew out to left field his first 2 attempts. We'll see if the third time is the charm for the Silver Knights second baseman. Breaking ball, and that misses.
A little bit outside, just a tad outside and high. 3-1 now. 3-1 to a guy who mashed 2 home runs. Now he's got to shorten his swing here. Don't take the big one.
Oh, and they make the throw over to first.
Well, that's a good call.
Yeah, good call.
You want to keep it at 1 run.
Swing, and that is
fooled him, I think.
A called strike, and It wasn't an emphatic call by the home plate umpire.
Well, Kleiner will get emphatic once if McDermott takes another one of those and is down on strikes, believe me.
Full count now to Jack.
Yeah, he's probably going to be swinging here. Nope.
Swing, and he missed the outside portion of the plate.
That curveball is not dropping in where Kraus thinks it's, or where Kleiner thinks it's a strike. Kraus probably does, but he's not making too much noise about it. So,
well, and again, at this point, they'll have a meeting at the mound. And there's a couple of pitches there that you have to wonder about, but there are no do-overs. I mean, you have to move on to the next batter. You've got runners at first and second now if you're Kraus, and you've got to try to maintain this or minimize this damage as one swing of the bat could put up a crooked number on the scoreboard as Kyle Wolfe, the DH, steps up. And Kyle swung out swinging his second at bat, so I'm sure he's coming up with ill intentions here.
well, Jackson's talking to him a little bit. See what's going to happen.
I got to ask you, Tom, did you get your St. Louis National Anthem record ball?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Did you
Tim
really?
got one.
No, I don't have any.
You're not getting any of the goods, huh? No hats, no
nothing.
St. Louis
Nothing.
ball.
In fact, so last night I'm at the game, right? And they don't usually feed the press box.
Okay.
So John Creed, I think I'll tell you what I think happened. So I go down during the delay, towards the end of the delay, and get a chicken sandwich. Great chicken sandwich, hot, really hot from the concession stand.
Breaking ball, the Wolf taking for called strike one. Go ahead, Tom.
$5, right?
Okay, all right.
I come upstairs, finish it. All of a sudden, a waitress comes in and says, "Would you like anything?" So I got another chicken sandwich.
Well, good for you.
What the heck?
Yeah, good
for
you.
But I think John Creedon arranged that because no one else asked for. She didn't ask anyone else in the press box.
He's taking care of you. John Creedon Jr., the owner of the team here, is seeing his Silver Knights nurse a 1-0 lead, a grounder into the coach's box.
They're gonna need more.
They will need more. This is a New Britain Bees team that knows how to swing the stick, so to speak, and it's a matter of time, one would think, but they are running out of it. We are at the bottom of the fifth, a 1-0 lead for the Silver Knights. They have runners on first and second with a very dangerous bat of Kyle Wolfe standing in the box. Swing and a slow roller to first. That will advance the runners.
Yeah, you know what Wolfe was looking at? He was looking at that gap out in right center field between Lara and the right fielder, Coley, and he was looking at that gap because it was a big one.
Sure.
And looking to try to drill that there, and said he just swung a little over the ball and topped it. That's going to be it for Kraus.
We're going to have a pitching change here. This pitching change brought to you by Tom King Sports Articles. For the best in sports writing, see Tom King's articles in the Nashua Telegraph, either the paper print edition or online at NashuaTelegraph.com. So Kraus will head to the bench. He gave up 3 hits. 1 run across the plate.
Second and third, something that this team has been used to.
So we'll get a number for you as soon as we can here on the mound. It'll be a lefty. So it'll be a lefty versus lefty matchup as McNamara waits for his turn. And I don't know if we can see a number there, Tim. Does end in an 8.
3:38.
So that looks like Andrew Jurgens.
It is Andrew Jurgens out of Georgetown, incoming freshman into Georgetown, Tampa, Florida. This is his kind of weather right now.
Yeah, he likes this. This is cold for him.
Yep. Yeah, no kidding.
So Jurgens will come in, and he will inherit runners at second and third base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Silver Knights already have 1 run on the board on a solo shot from Kyle DeRoma, just out of the leaping grasp of the center fielder, Joel Lara. And, Tom, I just got to go back to Joel Lara. 54 stolen bases in 50 games. That is quite impressive.
It is, but it's also impressive is the fact that in this series, the Silver Knights have kept him completely off the base paths.
See, what did you do there? You just did a Jason Roby.
Yep.
That's what you just did. You just jinxed the whole operation.
No, I already said it earlier in the game.
Okay. So Mcdermott now will step into the box. He struck out looking his second at bat.
But you know Lara will triple his next time out.
He had a ground rule double in the first inning that kept a run off the board for the Silver Knights. That run surely would have
This
scored.
is the guy they like with men on base.
Swing,
Lefty,
first
lefty.
pitch swinging.
It's right at
and
him.
right at the right field.
Right at him, and he barely saw it.
The
But that's-
sun working against
Yep.
him. He was in the shade/sun there, but that will retire the side for the Silver Knights. We'll head to the top of the sixth inning. 1-0 Silver Knights.
Holman Stadium. The hotel is close to many dining options in the area and includes the on-site 99 restaurant and bar. The
So that could have been interesting, Tom, if
The hotel includes
he had the green light first pitch, got what he wanted, but they had him shaded perfectly, no pun intended, as it was looked like he struggled initially, but was able to
Right.
settle into that shaded area and gather it in.
50% off. Call the hotel at 603-883-7777.
We will head to the top of the sixth inning.
Room discount.
We are 70 minutes into this one. And Nolan Lincoln will make his way back out to the mound.
Yeah, and you wonder, don't have the number of pitches yet for Lincoln. I don't know what they are. I imagine they're probably in the 60 range.
Well, I'd say it's pretty low, Tom. They've been fast innings.
That's
There's
true.
been some 1 and 2 pitch at bats. But you're right, and I don't know if you kind of look ahead. You mentioned starting pitching was maybe a question mark. Do you think about the possibility of a game 3 and having, to have all hands on deck and possibly going back, or is it a go for broke situation where, look, this is our guy right now. He's pitching a one-hitter top of the sixth. We
Right.
will ride or die with this guy. And
Exactly.
I think that's the way you go until he shows you otherwise.
Yeah, it sure is. Yep. 2-0 in favor of
Well,
Westfield.
there you go. You know how that worked out last time.
Yeah, exactly.
They were up 2-0 against Vermont last night, and they end up taking a 6-2 loss. So we'll see if Vermont can come back. Meanwhile, back at the home field, the Silver Knights will dig in, top of the sixth inning. First pitch swing and getting a piece of it was Jeff Nickel, the catcher. He flew out to right field in his first at bat. And Lincoln kind of taking a roundabout walk back to the pitcher's mound, grabs the rosin bag, touches his laces, his pant legs, steps on the hill. So not working at the speed that he was in the early going of this one.
No.
Swing, foul back, right to Tom King. And
Right over.
some cheers back there. Someone in the luxury boxes must have made a terrific play. You don't ever get to go in the luxury boxes, huh, Tom?
No. No one invites me. It's all right. I have my own box.
You. Now, is the lock on the outside of that door
Oh,
or
sure.
the inside? Yeah, I would think.
I have my own box, you know.
You do.
And,
Yep.
ETV rents it from me for their equipment storage. So
There it is.
I'm a good landlord, though.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Nickel. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, see, now Lincoln is fooling them a little bit. He's tailing that pitch away. There was one inning where he was just coming right at him with the fastball. I think Lincoln has prepared for this. In other words, he studied the hitters.
And I'm Yeah, and I'm sure last night played a big part in that.
Yeah,
as,
I think
Cabral
so.
was dancing around the plate,
Right.
Swing, and there it is again, outside portion. And the funny thing, or the interesting thing of note here, Tom, is that Lincoln starts way to the far side towards the third base bag,
with that
and he ends
delivery.
up coming across back, and it finishes.
That delivery, and don't forget now it's the ball's a little tougher to pick up a little bit here. It's a little not shadow, but darker in that area.
DeRosa down 0-2. Swing and a miss.
Now look
Three
at that.
straight pitches.
3 straight. Oh, none of them. Were any of them in the zone? No.
The first one may have caught the edge, but none of them were strikes.
Right.
So 3 up, 3 pitches, 3 straight swings and misses. DeRosa goes down on strikes, and that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Mike Tornero. He grounded out to short and popped up to second.
There is some tossing going on over in the Silver Knights bullpen.
Swing, that one fouled off to the right. Yeah, there is, Tom. You're
right.
Yeah,
I'd love to squeeze 7 innings out of Nolan Lincoln. You know, I really would.
Well, I think you got to look at. I think the pitch count is what's important here, right? I mean, you had
Right.
Cabral at 78 last night, and you thought that ball was going to eat up the third baseman, and it didn't. What a great read!
Great read by Johnny
Knox.
Yep, Knox has been a solid player when he got here about just a little under a month ago.
That'll take us to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 strikeouts swinging of Nickel and DeRosa, and then a great play at third base by Knox as Tornero will go down, grounding out to third. We're going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Silver Knights still with a 1-0 advantage here. Wow, what a game.
Oh, just fabulous so far, you know. Again, though, I think that they're going to need more runs.
Want to once again welcome our friends from Chester and I believe Bedford who are watching on Nashua ETV, channel 96 tonight, I believe, Tom.
Yep.
And Jason Roby along with Tom King. Tim O'Neill is on the moving pictures. Our executive producer is Pete Johnson. And up to this point, you've been treated to a really good baseball game here as two teams who know the importance of this one. It's a winner go home for New Britain. Meanwhile, Silver Knights trying to punch their ticket into the finals of the FCBL after starting out an abysmal, what was it, Tom? You said 4-13?
4-13 and then 10-17.
And that seems like years ago as they have flicked a switch and just gotten themselves to this point.
It's been an interesting summer.
Indeed, sir.
No doubt about it. I told John Collins on a broadcast recently, I said, I've never seen a team just be able to turn it around like that.
Speaking of an interesting summer, Tom, I went to Fenway Park last week and watched Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett rock the stage. Let me tell you something, sir. What a show.
There you go.
The week before that, guess where I was? Gillette Stadium, Elton John.
Oh, they're not bad. You've had a good summer.
I had a good summer, sir. Yeah, getting some quality tunes in.
It ends in a couple of weeks.
It does. Fall sports starting right soon here.
Well, fall sports start Friday.
There
with
it is.
Football.
Yep. Digging into the box for the Silver Knights.
Helping out any kickers this year?
Not yet. I have talked to Chad Zbolis a couple of times. We'll see. We'll see what he has going on. But the Chad Zbolis era ready to kick off at Nashua High School North. Count evens up at 1-1 for Ray Velasquez, the left fielder. Ray popped up to second, his first at bat, and grounded up to the shortstop, his second at bat. Swing and off the end of the bat, and that one hangs up in the air long enough and drifting over into the sun.
Yeah, just a little longer for that right field to make a difference with the sun.
Yeah, Mark Coley had plenty of time. When it first came off the bat, you thought maybe.
Yeah, maybe a gapper, but no, it was hit off the end of the bat, as you said. Here's Knox right now, who had that nice play at third base.
Knox over 2. He popped out to the left fielder and flew out. He actually flew out twice to the left fielder, so he's consistent. And flashed some pretty impressive leather as that breaking ball catches the outside portion of the plate. Knocks down 0-1 thus far.
Playing them fairly straight away.
They
for
are.
a guy that's pulled it twice.
Yep.
Got a lot of room, though, inside that line in left field.
And that
he was,
pitch,
he was going
he
for
was
it.
going because that was an inside pitch dropping quick. And
You see the batter just leave the box after he swings, you know that he was.
that's where he was going.
Yeah.
But Knox is down 0-2 now, got to choke up, and he does just that. If you can get a shot of that on the ETV camera, he's got a couple of inches between the knob and his bottom hand. Swing, and that one fouled straight back, staying alive, BG style.
Knox, it's 2 strikes. You can't do it now, but I would have dropped one down earlier.
You know, you probably would have. Yeah, you got a great point there. They are deep. Swing and a slow roller. And what a play by the third baseman.
Another great play at third by Petterini, Max Petterini. Just a nice play. You know, you wondered, was it going to eat him up? No. Kept it against his chest, took it through to first for the out. 2 outs down, 2 down, 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th. It's a 1-0 game in favor of the Silver Knights.
You know who had great hands at third base, Tom? Ray DeRusha.
Did he really?
I played softball with Ray, taken for a called strike there to Will McLean. Ray DeRusha, my first year in Nashua in 96, it was either 96 or 97, but Ray DeRusha played the hot corner, third base for a softball team, and boy, did he have good hands.
Wow.
Yep, it was very impressive.
Well, his daughter's very good softball player.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, can play a lot of positions. Catches, pitches, plays the infield, you know, all sorts of stuff.
McLean.
All-state honorable mention this year. And South doesn't get too many of those. They've got a good young nucleus, I think, for next spring.
That hurt the catcher there. I don't know if Nickel got fooled on the pitch or what happened, but there'll be a timeout here, and he'll walk that one off. That looked like it hurt, but he'll make his way back into the catcher's boxes. Just needed a moment or two there. It is 1 ball, 2 strikes to the first baseman, McLean. There are 2 outs. Roma stands the on-deck circle. That was a late swing, Tom, and
just got a piece
of it.
1-2, the count now on McLean. 0-1-0 for New Britain, 1-3-0 for Nashua.
And that one plunks McLean, and
6th Nashua hitter hit by a pitch in the series. I mean, none of them are you know, they're not.
Well, you're not doing
malicious.
that. You're
not
not
malicious,
doing that
no.
with 2 strikes
they were
in
all,
the count.
They were all soft.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but you know what? You got to take advantage of these.
Yep.
And here's a chance now to maybe do it.
Well, a guy that took you to deep center field, you're not going to bring this guy up and give him a chance to put 2 more on the board. So that one probably just got away from McLean, and we'll see if DeRoma makes him pay for it. So inning is extended. DeRoma digs in, and that pitch is in the dirt by the catcher, and trotting to second base will be McLean.
2 outs, runner in scoring position.
And not the recipe you are putting together if you are the New Britain Bees, and obviously if you're Silver Knights at this point, you'll take it any way you can get it. DeRoma ahead in the count, digs in. The pitch. Breaking ball and a slow one. Call strike.
That's just it. This is a fastball league for the hitters. They're not really big on the breaking balls. College kids, you know, with the wooden bats, are trying to adjust. Keep going breaking ball here, I think, to DeRoma.
Swing and a miss, and again.
Down and in.
Yeah, so 1 ball, 2 strikes now to DeRoma. He has to protect the plate. A base hit here you think would probably plate McLean.
It'd be close.
Depending on where it's hit.
Right. Say if DeRoma can go the other way towards that gap in right center.
And it's a sizable gap.
It is.
And
Runner
McLean
goes
will
to
run,
third.
yeah. Fouled straight back by DeRoma.
And he had that taken if you wanted it. And that's not a bad idea. You don't want to make the third out at third, but
Well, you got to manufacture some
yeah,
runs,
exactly.
right?
The way things are going, you got to push it. You got to manufacture it. And the thing is, if he's at third and there's another wild pitch, he may have a chance to score, as long as the bounce doesn't come back.
Swing and a
Right at
tricky
him.
bounce, but fielded quite nicely
Right
by
at
the
him.
shortstop.
I mean, he hit it the way he wanted to. He got a line shot, just didn't elevate it enough, and that'll do it here in the bottom of the sixth. We got 3 to go. 1-0 Knights.
If you are joining us on Nashua ETV, channel 96.
And I believe the Nolan Lincoln stint is over as we are going to change pitchers.
I think you're right, Tom. Yep, that's a good call. Is trotting in from the bullpen is our next Silver Knight pitcher. We'll get a number for you.
Might be Andrews, not sure. Thought it might have been Will Andrews.
I think you might be right. It is 35, Will Andrews.
Yep, there you go.
5'11", 165-pound sophomore out of Wake Forest University. Calls Salem, North Carolina home. Unless it's the summer, then he calls Nashua home. So Will Andrews will take the mound and begin his warm-up. The line for the regular season on Andrews, he pitched in 13 games, 17 and a third innings, gave up 10 hits, 7 runs, 3 of them earned. He walked 7, struck out 22. He saved 3 ball games. His ERA, a paltry 1.55. So Andrews, a strikeout pitcher here, will take the mound in the top of the 7th.
And they got to be happy, New Britain does, to see, not to see Andrews in the game, but to see Lincoln out of it.
And Lincoln pitched a heck of a ball game here. You know,
Look, it's all about pitching, right? I mean, you can talk about the hitting, and you need clutch hitting and everything else, but in the playoffs, it's all about who's got the pitching and what you can do with it. And, Nashua's just had some great pitching. Two straight starts, 12 innings for starters, 2 runs allowed.
and that's how you win championships.
Yep.
That is exactly correct, because they always say good pitching beats good hitting. Unless you're the Atlanta Braves of the 90s. And even they won one in 95, so look that up, fans.
All those years that they were in the playoffs and didn't make it. And,
they were in the World Series several years in a row.
Not several years in a row. They lost to the Yankees twice, right? They beat Cleveland
3 or 4 times they were in the series.
They beat Cleveland.
Well, they won. Yeah, they beat Cleveland.
So that's 3.
So 3 or 4 times.
Yep. But not in a row, I don't think.
See, now we got to call down to the truck and get our stats people to work here.
Right, exactly.
I'm going to give out Tom King's phone number live on the air here. You can text him the information.
See, in '98, the Padres were in the World Series.
That's true, yeah. Swing and a nice pitch there by Andrews. And this is Joel Lara who was fooled on that one. Lara swing at that outside pitch, and he is quickly down 0-2. Lara popped out to left field, popped up to second base, and this is his first look at Andrews. The delivery that one. Framed by the catcher, but just a bit high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to the number 2 hitter. Stolen base leader here in the league this year, Joel Lara. And that one inside, count evens up at 2-2. And Tom, you brought up an interesting point. You want to keep this guy off the base paths because any walk or any type of single, in essence, becomes a double if you're playing the percentages and you're in scoring position. Swing and a miss, and he knew it, and down he goes.
Nice change of pace by Lincoln. Took a little bit off it. New Britain has been susceptible to the outside curve.
They have.
In the last 2 nights.
So the scouting report has been spot on up to this point as Mark Coley will dig in. He is 0 for 2 this evening. Struck out looking his first at bat, grounded out to third. And that pitch taken for a strike. A nice pitch there by Andrews. Oh, and time is called late as Andrews was into his delivery. Would have been a called strike, but time had been called, so no pitch. So still 0-1. Now 0-2, and wow, Coley was fooled on that one. And Andrews trying to work quickly here as the ball swings between the knees and comes to the set. A lot of time in between pitches, and Coley calls time.
Careful with an 0-2 pitch. There's a high percentage of long balls and hits given up on 0-2 pitches. As the batter's in protect mode, so if you're close to the plate, it's usually a base hit.
Speaking of the Braves, they are leading the Red Sox at the end of the first inning, 1-0. Swing and a miss, and Coley goes down via the swinging strike.
Look at Andrews. See, Andrews didn't like all those timeouts. You notice that?
Yeah, he was not happy.
He stormed off the mound after that strikeout.
He was not
happy at all. I like that emotion out of this team. This team's got some of it.
Swing and a miss, strike 1 there. Oh and 1, 2 down. Did he go? Will they ask? They will not appeal. 1-1.
I don't think he went.
No, 1-1, I believe, the count.
Yep, good call.
To Colton. Swing and a miss by Shaw there. He was fooled on that one. He grounded out to the shortstop foot, center field. And I think we know how Andrews would like to end this inning.
Look for a pitch on the outer half again, tailing away. It's what he's done all inning.
He does just that, Tom. 3 batters, 3 outs via the swinging K. And Andrews comes in and shuts down the New Britain Bees.
And not only that, I'll give you a hint. There's no one warming up in the bullpen. Andrews is going to pitch the 8th as well.
Yep. So we will head to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Pitching, 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 and pitching.
The Silver Knights with a 1-0 lead on the New Britain Bees, the number 2 seed here in the 2022 FCBL tournament. Jason Roby along with Tom King calling the action for you. Tim O'Neill is on the moving pictures. Our executive producer is Pete Johnson. Want to say hello to all the fans watching on Nashua ETV Channel 96, also our friends in Chester and Bedford. And those of you who may be watching live stream around the globe, welcome to the Gate City of Nashua, New Hampshire, where the Silver Knights are enjoying a 1-0 lead heading into the bottom of the 7th inning in a pitcher's duel.
Classic. Except Both starting pitchers are out of the game.
Well, right, but
Which
still
is typical for this league.
a duel between others now.
Oh, sure. Yeah, exactly.
And some good defense being played out there. The scouting reports have really rung true, I think. Most of these teams, the coaches have done their homework on where to shade and where to play one on the look. You've played 50-plus games here. There are no secrets at this point in the season. It comes down to this.
See if we can update you on what's going on in Westfield.
That pitch taken outside for a ball to Mcdermott, center fielder.
2-0 in the third.
So the early going of that one, and that one is roped in a fair ball.
Oh, wow,
and
really?
it was, because it went right over the base, Tom.
And I don't think D'Amato thought it was fair right away, because otherwise I think he would have had it. I think he stopped. I don't think he jumped right out of the box, but I wasn't watching him, so I can't be sure.
The umpire was emphatic, your first base umpire, emphatic that it was a fair ball, and it got down there in a hurry. And a nice job, I might add, by the first baseman, Colton Shaw, as that had extra bases written all over it. So a good heads-up play there. Brady O'Brien, the leadoff hitter, will come up. His fourth effort is a high, towering fly ball that is gathered in by the shortstop. 2 up, 2 down quickly here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
No batter. Remainder's call. Second baseman number 26, Jack Mcdermott.
McDermott now with his 4th attempt. He grounded out to short, flew out to left field, drew a walk. His 3rd at bat made it all the way to the 2nd on a pass ball. That breaking
now the
ball.
crowd is a little bit more alive, you know.
Swing and a
Popped
high fly ball, and settling under it there is Lara, the center fielder. He'll gather it in, and that will retire the side in the 7th for the Silver Knights. So they will go down in the 7th inning. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Nashua still nursing a 1-0 lead.
Keep your eye on number 81, George Welch, their closer. He hasn't gone down to the bullpen yet, so I bet he will after this. If Andrews shuts him down, I bet he will after this half inning.
Do you think, Tom, it'll be a pitch count deal with Andrews in terms of how many he has to throw?
No, I think you throw. I think you've got it mapped out going into a game, right? You've got it all mapped out. Now Kyle is a pitcher. He goes by feel a lot of times, but I'm sure he mapped out Andrews for, in a perfect world, Lincoln for 6, Andrews for 2, Welch for 1. So let's see.
Pete Johnson is in the house. We heard about this one. Hustled on over to Holman Stadium. And if you, like Pete, are just joining us, you have seen a real good game here at Holman Stadium, historic Holman Stadium, where the Silver Knights have 1 run across on 3 hits and no errors. Meanwhile, the New Britain Bees, no runs on 1 hit and no errors. Will Andrews took the mound in the 7th, set down the side on 3 consecutive strikeouts. It has been an impressive game by both sides, and this game is 1 hour and 38 minutes old as we head into the top of the 8th.
Nice night at Holman. It doesn't seem oppressive tonight.
Right.
As oppressive. It was pretty oppressive in New Britain last night. But it's summer. Everybody goes nuts when it's hot. It's summer. What are you supposed to do?
This is what we've been waiting for, right?
This is what you want, you know? All right, maybe a little humid here and there, but now there goes George Welch down there, kind of loosening up a little bit. The bands. So now let's see how Andrews does against the left-hander. Faced right-handers all last inning and got him with that pitch away. Let's see what he does to the lefties. He's as effective.
Swing and roped and gobbled up by the second baseman and took a difficult play and made it look easy.
Yeah, that's big because his pitch still tails in, so the lefties are going to pull him. And they're going to be able to pull him. And that ball hits in the air. It's a base hit. Ground ball. Nice play at second base.
C.J. Brito Trinidad, the DH, come up to the plate. He singled to center field in his last at bat. That pitch taken outside for a ball. Swing and a high fly ball to right field, settling up under it there and making the play is Shane McNamara. So that'll bring up the shortstop, Elliot Good. He struck out swinging his last at bat, and in his first at bat he flew out to left field. He'll get his first look at Will Andrews. 2 up, 2 down thus far here, top of the 8th inning. Called strike one, outside part of the plate. Nice fastball there by Andrews.
Now he's got a righty back in, so.
And getting ahead in the count too, Tom, is always important. Strike two, a little movement on that one. So Good.
Again, got to be careful with the 0-2s. Timeout called.
The delivery, swing and a slow roller to second base.
Wow.
Easy play
Boy,
there.
I'll tell you what, this is pitching at its finest.
I believe it was 6 pitches, Tom. I wasn't necessarily keeping track of it, but
I believe you're right.
6 pitches, 3 up, 3 down, and we will head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Silver Knights still up 1-0. Wow.
Just incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I think in your article, Tom, too, and I want to make reference to this, I believe you said that Kyle Jackson was quoted as saying, look, we just got to let our fielders play behind the pitchers.
Yes.
And that's what they've done. They've gotten ahead in the counts, and when the ball has been put in play, the leather has been flashed, at least up to this point, it's been flashed behind them. So, you can't script it better than what it's been done up to this point.
No, you can't. I mean,
at least defensively.
Yeah, but the Nashua pitching has gotten New Britain having to play from behind, not only on the board, but at the plate.
Right.
That's the big thing they've had, and we got a new pitcher in for the Bees.
Yeah, that looks to be like it's number 10 for New Britain, and that is Benny Wilson, the 6'5", 220-pound junior out of George Washington University. He calls Hatboro, PA, home. So Watson will take the hill, towering 6'5" frame. Try to get the line on Watson for you, at least up to this point in the season. And it'll just be damage control now. Keep things as is and give yourself a chance in the top of the 9th if you're New Britain and Watson. So during the and I'm not sure I have stats on him, Tom, so
he might have just joined.
I apologize for that. No line on Benny Wilson, unless I missed it. I will go up again through my roster here. There it is. Yes, he's appeared in 17 games. He's pitched 19 innings, given up 15 hits, 7 runs, 4 of them earned. He's walked 6 and struck out 22. He's got a record of 1-2 during the regular season with 6 saves, a 1.89 ERA. So
Designated hitter number 12, Kyle
They are in the fourth. In Westfield, it is still 2-0 in favor of the Starfires.
And if you are Nashua, you would like to see that game go to a third game if you're able to win tonight and you're Nashua. Give you an extra day of rest, potentially to line your pitching up the way you'd like it.
Boy, I do not see Welch warming up. You know that?
I mean, you've pitched.
I saw him loosen up, but not warm up.
Well, I want to see. Yeah, he loosened up, but I think in 2 innings, I think it's like 17 or 18 pitches. I believe it's 17 pitches for Andrews. And that ball is roped, and getting things started here in the bottom half of the 8th with a leadoff single is Kyle Wolfe. So he gets on base to get things going here. An insurance run would do the Silver Knights some good here, as Shane Mcdermott, who had perhaps the best defensive play of the game with a diving catch, working from left to right.
And now
towards
he'll
center
be
field.
lifted for a pinch runner, as Nashua's going to try to squeeze out this run.
So we'll see if they can manufacture something here and turn that single into a double. It is now, Tom, tied in the top of the 4th, 2-2. Yeah, we spoke too soon.
Yes,
so
we did.
Here come those Lake Monsters.
Yep.
Who is that pinch runner down there, Tom? Do we see it? It looks like a...
Might be Jameson. Jameson? I think it is.
Yeah, it is Jameson. You're right.
Jameson.
It is. Thank you to our public address staff to my left here, doing fantastic work as always. Squaring up the bunt, and that one is what you don't want to do. And it drops. It's a fair ball. There'll be a play at second, and he is out. And I got to tell you,
You had to wait if you're Jameson, because if it's caught, you're doubled off.
yeah, you're doubled off, and he.
This
Boy.
is great play by the Bees to make that play and throw to second, have the presence of mind to throw to second.
left fielder number 23,
But see, Jemison, where he is, he can't tell if it's caught or not, right? Because the bodies are all in front of him.
Right, what you're really looking for there, Tom, is green. Can
Yeah.
you see white on green?
Right.
That tells you everything you know, but there are really 3 players blocking him from that view. The first base coach probably had the best look at it, having to move his body over towards the field of play. Swing and a high fly ball, and
That may be
that could be trouble.
It's going to be foul territory and caught.
And a great cover there.
So you're one play away from first and second, nobody out. Now you get 2 outs and a runner at first. It's the way this game is going. You know, it's for both teams. It's just one of those games.
Johnny Knox.
And interestingly enough, the second baseman did a good job popping up and looking towards second, as you can tag up on a foul ball that is caught out of play. So
Right.
just good job defensively there, and things going the right way for the Bees in that sequence. Johnny Knox now will step in. That pitch, a fastball outside corner taken for a called strike. Knox is 0 for 3 so far on the evening. He popped out to left field, flew out to left field deep, and then grounded out to third. And that ball in the dirt blocked nicely there, and had that gotten by.
Can you feel the dry air?
Yeah, can, sir. Yeah.
Yes, you can with the wind, yeah. Front is
Those trees really protect the flag out there in center field, as
Yeah,
it
they
just
do.
kind of wiggles around. Not a true indicator of what we're feeling up
no,
here.
we can hear it on the mics.
Yep. So Knox digs in. Count is even at 1-1. Quick throwback to first, and it
just
almost
barely.
got him. And McNamara very fortunate.
Just barely.
That was a great pickoff play there by Wilson. He almost had him. The pitch fouled straight back and out of play. Swirling to the right. Hope you didn't park there, Tom. So we have been treated here to a real gem of a baseball game if you are into defense and pitching. Swing on a breaking ball. That could drop, and that's going to put a runner at third, and it's just foul. It just hung up there long enough, and I venture to say, Tom, that if that bounces in fair territory,
if it bounces in fair territory,
Jackson might send him.
Yeah, because what it's going to do, It's going to kick towards the bullpen, right?
And you've got a right-handed thrower.
Yeah, and you got to
venturing
chase
off
it.
to his
but
left.
you've also got to chase it once it kicks. If you can play it on a hop before it goes into foul territory, you're okay.
Ifs and buts.
Yeah. So.
Hey, Tom, if it had been over the fence, it would have been a home run.
Yeah, right, exactly. Huh?
All right, there you
and
go.
if he had swung and missed it, it would have been a strike.
Right.
Strikeout.
Good call. He's not the best in the business for nothing, folks.
Right.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And knocks.
There it was.
And that is a fair ball. We'll have runners at the corners. Ball comes into second base. So now Silver Knights with something going here in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 down. So delivering was Johnny Knox. Sent the ball into right field.
Gedman going out to talk. Matt Gedman.
And a slow walk out to the mound as the Bees will have a meeting of the minds.
Yeah, well, it's just a meeting because there's not much going on in that bullpen.
Nope.
Nothing going on in that bullpen. So this is the
strategy.
guy.
They're talking strategy here. As
this is the guy. Oh, you feel that dry air with the breeze coming in, wind blowing in. If you hit it out of here, it wasn't blowing in when Mcdermott hit it. If you hit it out of here tonight, later on, or any time in this next inning and a third, you're doing something.
So the first baseman, Will McLean, the left-handed batter, will step in. So righty versus lefty. UMass product. He's been on base twice tonight. Once via the walk and once hit by a pitch. And that pitch taken inside ball 1. And again, Tom, no action out in the Silver Knights bullpen, so it appears that you're right. It's going to be Andrew's job.
It's his. This is his game.
Quick throw back to first. That ball gets by, and that's going to give the insurance run that the Knights needed. And if you are the Bees, and they're going to have a runner at first and at third base now.
Yeah, no one called time.
Time was not called. They threw the ball in kind of haphazardly back to Wilson, who was on the first base side of things. And heads up base running there as running was Knox all the way from second to third. So an insurance run is plated. McNamara will score, and Johnny Knox now at third base. And Will McLean a chance to give a 2-run or a 3-run cushion. That ball goes off the backstop. And I'm going to tell you something right now, Tom.
The wheels have come off.
Wilson didn't even cover the plate.
No, he didn't. And if he had, it would have been an out.
Catcher had a play at the plate. He fired back, and Wilson was standing about halfway between the pitcher's mound and home plate.
That's not being aware of the ballpark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, not just that, right? If you haven't been in the game up to this point, maybe you're not as dialed in or laser focused as the rest of the players, and you would have fully expected Wilson to be covering home on that play. And he didn't. Swing and a high fly ball, so 2 runs are going to score here.
Watch the wind, though. See if the wind does anything.
Yeah,
no,
it doesn't. But here's the point. You just scored 2 runs on 2 errors. A throwing error and a mental error in the field. And as a result, we're going to go to the top of the 9th inning here, and the Silver Knights, doesn't matter how you get them, as long as you get them, they are ahead 3-0, top of the 9th. They are 3 outs away, Tom, from heading back to the FCBL championship.
Yep.
And don't look now, but the Vermont The Monsters are up 3-2, top of the fourth. So the Vermont Lake Monsters are back on top. Boy, oh boy. Wow.
Yeah.
And not one to forget about the past, Tom. The Atlanta Braves won 14 division championships.
Oh, yeah, no, they were in the playoffs
it was
all
the
the
playoffs,
time.
but it was the World Series that I'm looking for here. And
They
again,
were-
you can reach Tom King at
They were in the playoffs.
603-555-5555.
Now, I guarantee you, all of those playoff appearances, I'm thinking only 4 World Series appearances there.
That might be right.
They were that was my point. They had so many playoff appearances,
Yeah.
you know?
And only one title up in, last year they got their second title, right? Was it last year? Yeah.
Yep.
21 they were World Series champs, so.
With 2 outs to go, I will head down to the field, Jason Roby.
Okay, Tom, well.
Get those celebration shots if they are any. So it's Will Andrews again to finish things off. Now I believe Welch is down there just in case.
Yeah, you have to have them there just in case.
Yep.
It is 3-0. So there's some wiggle room here, Tom, but you never want to sleep on this Bees team, who can be very dangerous with the bats that they swing. And obviously this is their season on the line, so you have to believe they're going to be laser focused on whatever Will Andrews is dialing up. But man, what a game.
What? Something else, huh?
They played it in the World Series 5 times in the 90s.
Yep.
That's what it was. 5 times in the 90s, and they won it once in 95, I believe.
Lost in 99 to the Yankees, 96 to the Yankees. Won it in 95.
Correct.
So that's 3 of them.
They probably went back in 96
I
and
think they lost to the Twins.
Yeah. Great series, right? That was a 7-game series.
Right.
But we're focused right now on what's happening here at Historic Holman Stadium, as swing and a ball bounding foul left side. Silver Knights 3 outs away from making a return trip to the FCBL Championship Series. Lake Monsters winning 3-2 in the 4th right now. But still a lot of baseball to play here. We'll say that. The delivery, swing, and no, a breaking ball.
Breaking ball, called strike, and did not like the call.
I think it was a good call, Tom. It broke late,
Yeah.
and it didn't break as much maybe as he thought it did, but it was a good pitch, and Nickel didn't like the call.
But again, look up at the board. How many times have you seen 0-2, 1-2?
Yeah.
You know? Haven't seen 3-1 very often. Haven't seen 3-0, 2-0 very often.
Silver Knight pitchers have been working ahead in the count all night, and right now, Andrews up 1-2 to Nickel. And that pitch low, count evens up at 2-2. So it'll be Nickel, DeRosa, Tornero. Anybody gets on, Lara.
One mistake you don't want to make here with Andrew. You don't want to nibble, you know?
Yeah, you want to go after him, and again,
go after him.
Let your fielders make the plays behind you.
Right.
They've proven up to the task, at least up to this point. Swing and a miss.
All right,
down
Jason
on
Roby,
strikes.
Down I go. Down on strikes, and down I go to the field.
All right, he is Tom King, Mr. Nashua, depending on who you ask, and he will head down with the Silver Knights up 3-0 here in the top of the 9th inning. There is 1 down. And the number 9 hitter now, DeRosa. Swing and an inside pitch. DeRosa can't quite catch up to that one, and he is down 0-1. Strike 2, outside part of the plate, and a nice pitch there. Andrews from the stretch. The delivery. Swing and a miss! Out number 2. So 2 down here in the top of the 9th inning. Here's what's at stake. The New Britain Bees are down to their last out. The Holman faithful come to their feet. And out registered here will send the Nashua Silver Knights back to the title series where they have won 5 FCBL championships. Tornero, the last chance. He squares up to bunt, lays it down, back to the pitcher, and it is an out! And that's going to do it. The Silver Knights have won tonight's game 3-0. The number 3 seed, the team that started the season 9 games under 500 and searching for an identity, go on a tear here in the postseason up to this point. They have eliminated the second-seeded New Britain Bees 2-0, and they will head to the FCBL championship. The opponent is to be determined. Right now, it is the 1-seeded Lake Monsters from Vermont, at last count, who have a 3-2 lead in the 4th and a 1-0 series lead. So if they should hold on and win this, game 1 of the SCBL Championship Series would be played in Vermont. But for some reason, if Vermont should lose that series, game 1 would be here in Nashua. Still a lot of baseball to be played there. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But one thing we know for sure, the Nashua Silver Knights have punched their ticket to the FCBL Championship Series. They have come in and won on the road, then came home and finished the deal in front of their home crowd, knocking out the New Britain Bees 3-0 here at Historic Holman Stadium. And we'll celebrate with them as they jump around just outside their dugout. And we'll probably get some type of a handshake here before these teams exit. But what a game. And it ends like this. The Bees, no runs on just 1 hit and no errors. The Knights, 3 hits, or rather 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors. A great defensive effort tonight. And just an outstanding, fundamentally sound baseball game by this Nashua Silver Knights team. You saw it all. Great leather in the field. Outstanding pitching. And timely hitting with the home run hit back in the 5th inning by Kyle DeRoma, and smart ball being played. Heads up base running, plating a couple more in the bottom of the 8th as the fans come to run the bases and congratulate their home team, the Nashua Silver Knights. Well, it's been a good one for my partner, Tom King, Tim O'Neill on the moving pictures, our executive producer, Pete Johnson. My name is Jason Roby. It's been my pleasure to join you here. We'll see you in the FCBL Finals, ladies and gentlemen. Your final from Holman Stadium, the Nashua Silver Knights 3, the New Britain Bees 0. Take care. Have a great night, everybody.